Catch Me If You Can is on IMDb's list of top-rated movies at position 190. It was nominated for 2 Oscars, it has 16 awards, and has an overall average rating of 8.1 out of 10 on IMDb across over 800,000 ratings and reviews. Needless to say, Catch Me If You Can is an exceptionally well-received film, and as such, I was exceptionally nervous to watch this, not just because I was worried I wouldn't like it as much as people say, but also because it actually sounded really fantastic, and it has an incredible cast, and I thought I absolutely need to like this. Thankfully, for the most part, I did love this. Now, I have to say now this is biographical. I can't say how much of this is factually accurate. So if anybody can provide this information, please feel free to let me know in the comments. I'd be very interested to learn if they took creative license at any point. I'm sure they did here and there to make it more visually appealing. But in case you aren't aware of this film was released in 2002, directed by Spielberg, with a screenplay by Jeff Nathanson, based on the book by Frank Abagnale Jr. And this does tell the story of Frank. And the description from IMDb is as follows. Barely 21 yet, Frank is a skilled forger who has passed as a doctor, lawyer, and pilot. FBI agent Carl becomes obsessed with tracking down the con man who only revels in the pursuit. This is fabulous fun, quite intense, and full of surprises. Frank spends a lot of his time forging checks. He passes himself off as a pilot, and one of the funny things, I'm not going to spoil too much to be perfectly honest, because one of the great things about this is wondering, what is he going to do next? How is he going to lie to get out of a situation? And what is he going to come up with next? Who is he going to pretend to be? And there are some very ludicrous situations, but I will say the one in the school, it's quite early on, I thought his treatment of this bully was absolutely fabulous. And that made me realise the tone of this film. It's marketed as a crime drama and also a biography, but there are moments where it's funny, cheeky funny. Frank is, I guess, a typical lovable rogue. You know he's doing exceptionally bad things, but he's really likeable and he's really sweet. And he knows how to sweet talk people. So in terms of the narrative, well, it's very shocking to think that this is based on truth and that somebody could get away with that for so long. I don't want to tell you what happened to Frank in real life and whether or not he was caught and what his later years were like, because it may spoil some of the narrative. Obviously based on truth though. And I will say that I think it was unexpected the way it ended. It's certainly not what I anticipated. So the narrative is thrilling and very exciting, but to think it's real life is just absolutely insane and kind of scary, to be perfectly honest, that somebody could get away with that level of deceit. The only thing I don't like about the narrative is that there are a few times, mainly towards the beginning, I think at the halfway mark, give or take, it picks up pace and it's engaging all the way. But in the beginning, there were a few points where it was really slow. It was slow to get started and it kind of stagnated here and there. It is a long film, it's well over 2 hours. I think they could have cut out a lot from the beginning. Maybe not an entire chunk, but just little bits here and there to speed it up. So the pacing wasn't great, but the narrative was still exceptionally interesting. Leonardo DiCaprio plays Frank, and for me, I think he did the role excellently. Because I had no prior expectations, I guess they could have basically cast anybody in that role, but I really enjoyed him in this role. We have Tom Hanks, Christopher Walken, personal favourite of mine, Amy Adams. Jennifer Garner's in it. The casting is absolutely brilliant. Amy Adams plays a character called Brenda, who is brilliant. She's a very interesting character, and I really enjoyed Adams' performance as Brenda Strong. All around, the acting was brilliant, and the casting was spot on. I had no prior expectations of what to expect or what these people would look like in real life or what their mannerisms were. But for me, the casting was brilliant. Pacing, bad. Casting, brilliant. Narrative, unbelievable most of the time. It was nominated for the Best Actor in a Supporting Role for Christopher Walken, who played his father, and it was also nominated for the Best Music Original Score. which was John Williams. It's also Golden Globes nominated, and it won BAFTA, winning for Best Performance by an Actor in a Supporting Role again went to Christopher Walken. Won many other awards. I won't go through them, but it's definitely worth having a glance at IMDb to see what else is there. This film is not the most perfect thing in the world. I would not give it the 8.1 out of 10 that is the average rating on IMDb. I'd say a comfortable 7 to 7.5. The length makes it hard to be 100% focused. The pacing adds to that. But by no means does that detract from how intricate this is. If you do know any of the true facts, please let me know. I'd be very interested to know where the creative license is. But absolutely, I completely agree with all of the praise that Catch Me If You Can Get. It is one you need to see.